want to noodle a bit, Phil?
Sure. Noodling commenced.
You want to noodle a bit, Phil? You want to noodle a bit, Phil? Thank you. How soothing. That makes up for the meditation y'all missed in 15. It was a silent meditation. I had a great meditation. I apologize for the sound mishap there. Oh, thank you, Phil. And good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome home. It's wonderful to have you all here. I am Reverend Helen Bello, for those of you who don't know me, if there is someone who doesn't know me out there. And this is our Sunday celebration of love, where we come together to recognize, to embody, embrace, feel, know at the very depths of our being that we are this pure, loving energy, and we are connected to an infinite power and presence, a creative energy that is omnipresent, omniactive, omnipotent, and omniscient. And so with me this morning is Phil Jacobs, and I appreciate Phil. We were supposed to have Karen Mitchell with us, and her mother is being moved to a care facility. So she was going to try and make it, but wasn't able to. So Phil so graciously said he would jump in again today, and I'm very happy because I haven't seen Phil in a while. So thank you, Phil. And then we also have Judy Southern with us from Cranbrook, BC, and we haven't seen Judy since she moved out west. So what a great, great morning. And Phil, I'm going to have you start us off with, what are you starting us off with?
We're gonna start off with an Elton John song called "Don't Let the Sun Go Down," and it's I love this song to open up because it's a reminder that even though the sun does go down, it will rise tomorrow. And from our perspective, we have the day and night, but also from the bigger perspective, the sun is always shining if we can tap into that, so the light is there. So this song speaks to that. I can't light no more of your darkness. All my pictures seem to fade to black and white. I'm growing tired, and time stands still before me. I'm frozen here on the ladder of my life. Too late to save myself from falling. I took a chance and changed your way of life, but you misread my meaning when I met you. Close the door and left me blinded by the light. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, it's always someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me. I can't find the right romantic line, but see me once and see the way I feel. Don't discard me just because you think I mean you harm. But these cuts I have, they need love to help them heal. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, it's always someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. But losing everything is like the sun going down on me. So losing everything is like the sun going down on me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And there really is only one mind, because today what I decided to do instead of doing our regular lighting of the candle for all religions, was to recognize that each one of us is a spiritual being. We are all spiritual beings on this planet. And we are going through everything that is being experienced on this planet is touching everyone. And so I wanted to acknowledge in prayer, with the recognition of the one infinite power and presence of life, that there is also the letting go. It's like the sun going down, the letting go of all of those who have passed on from disease, from loneliness, from desperation, for the ones whose time has come, even though we may not be prepared to for their departure, that there is sadness and grief for the earth that's on fire right now, and that there is grief for animals that are facing extinction. And we live in this beautiful, beautiful world of nature, and yet somehow our consciousness is not quite there for all, that we are all participating in the extinction of so much beauty on this earth plane, and that there is grief for and sadness and the feeling of pain for all of those people that have left their homes, that are immigrants, that are searching for something better for their families, and the grief for the Black lives that have been lost, and grief for the children who are suffering from violence and separation and poverty, and grief for our unwillingness to live in harmony with one another and with Mother Earth. And so I recognize that each one of us has this incredible capacity to bring ourselves into this harmonious place, that even though the sun is going down, that there is also this wonderful opportunity for the sun to rise and for our minds to be illuminated. And so with that, I recognize the light within each one of us, and say thank you for being on this service today. Thank you for bringing your consciousness to this community that is so committed to being conscious, to taking action in our minds and with our bodies to create a better world for all. So with that, I am also going to invite our practitioner of the day, Judy Seven, to lead us in prayer as well. So Judy, thank you for being with us. It's wonderful to see you, and I invite you to open us up with affirmative prayer.
Oh, thank you, Helen. And it's wonderful to be here with you online in spirit. It's been a while. And hello, everybody. Welcome home. Welcome to our spiritual home. So I invite everybody to just be aware of your breathing, being in the stillness of your breath. For I know that there is one intelligent field of love, of light, of energy. I call it God. I call it spirit. I call it divine energy. I call it the beloved. And I know that this intelligent field is everywhere present, all knowing and all powerful. And I know that it flows into each and every one of us, because it is who each of us is, expressions of this beautiful, beautiful intelligent field, this intelligent field of love. And so knowing this, knowing who we are, And I know that as we focus this month on the theme of action, I know that action starts with our thoughts and our beliefs and our feelings. And so knowing this, I affirm with unwavering faith that as we think, as I think, as each of us thinks, we are, we do, and we become. It is what we call the mental equivalent. We create with our thoughts. So let us now create and be aware of our thoughts and be aware of our beliefs and our feelings. And so knowing and being conscious of our thoughts, I am grateful. I am grateful for the opportunity to create with our thoughts, the action of our thoughts. And so knowing this, I am so grateful. I release these words as God, as the intelligent field that we are. I let it go. I let it be so. And say to yourself, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. And Phil, I'm going to invite you back for another song.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for your amazing words, Judy, and sharing that. And this is a song called Stand By Me. The call to action and a request of standing together through these times and what is happening out there. So the simplest thing we can do is stand together. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, all the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long you stand by me. So all and stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. So whenever you're afraid, so stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. You know, it's so it's funny because I was thinking of you, Judy, as I look at you, and it's like, oh, we've been through so much together. We've known each other for so many years, and let's have a conversation about how you're taking action in mind these days while you're doing many walks in the forest. I understand.
Well, you're right. And the action, I love our theme of the action in our mind, because really that's where it all starts, isn't it? And we've all been trained to know about the mental equivalent that we are creating with the actions in our minds, reflected in our experience. So I remember being taught quite a while ago that if you want to know what you're thinking, look at your life. Or look at your life and you know what you're thinking. And for me, it all feels so right, you know, making this move that I made and taking those actions in my mind and looking at this whole new experience that I am experiencing right now. A huge change, but it feels right, and I know it's right. So for me, it boils down to, you know, the action in my mind boils down to belief and trust and faith, and knowing that everything always works out. So in that way, there's no stress for me. This is what I'm feeling. Yeah, it's a huge change. It's a huge action to take for me. And I love the forest here. We have some smoky skies here. This is part of being in BC, although it's clear today, and I'm going to go for a walk, I hope, today with Tom's sister.
Oh, fantastic.
So that, yeah. Yeah, we connected. So we should be meeting today, because I think the skies are clear enough. I'm not noticing the smell of smoke now. So it looks like we should be okay. So talking about though the action in our mind, I am always surprised. And I don't know why it always surprises me, but everything always works out. And especially when I become conscious of what I'm thinking and watch it all play out in form, in physical form. But it always takes me by surprise. It's so amazing. Things always work out.
They do. And, you know, I think if we can have that faith and trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, absolutely perfectly, even when it seems like it isn't, it's still unfolding perfectly. And there's always this beautiful, beautiful opportunity to reflect back into what's going on in my mind and what would I like to shift and change. And that's a blessing. That is an absolute blessing to be able to do that.
I feel very blessed. I'm so grateful for the training I've had, and honestly, it has saved me. It really has saved me. It has made life simple, because we overanalyze in our minds, and really life is a lot simpler than how we overanalyze. And I'm guilty of that, certainly. And I just try to move away from the overanalysis and just to simply feel what I'm thinking and what I'm believing and what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I look at you, Judy, and it's so funny because the meditation I did this morning, which nobody heard but me, but it was fabulous to do, was...
I know what that feels like, by the way.
Yes, you do. Was aging with power. And that we don't have to buy into those collective ideas around aging and making changes at a certain age, and you know that we're supposed to be a certain way at a certain age. And it's all around, no, tap into that vital energy that is infinite and always present within us, and that, you know, allows us to continue to grow and expand and blossom no matter what stage of life we're in. And you're such a great example of that, Judy. You exude vitality, and you exude that commitment to always, to never, here's what it is, to never settle for less. That you will take the next step, whatever that is, for your own well-being, but also for your own spiritual growth. And I really honor that within you.
Thank you. I do have my moments, but you're right. I feel blessed to have that capacity. It's been learned.
I think we all learn it at some point.
But it's a learned capacity, and I'm grateful for the experience I've had at the center, because it certainly has helped me in my spiritual path.
Beautiful. Would you like to lead us into our affirmation for today?
I would love to. I'll say it once, and then I invite you in your aloneness, in your quarantine or whatever it is everybody's in, to say it to yourself. The action I take in my mind is reflected in my experience. And let's say it together. The action I take in my mind is reflected in my experience. Namaste.
Oh, namaste. Thank you, Judy. Phil, I'm going to hand it over to you for our next song.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Judy. The next song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It's mixed in with Wonderful World, and speaking to Judy's point around thoughts, and thoughts, they become things and they become actions, but we can take it, a step back, even a little bit further than the thoughts, and the perspective that we have on our thoughts as well. We have the power to change and choose what we think about what we think, which is amazing. So we can choose to see the beauty, and we can choose to see the love, and we can come from that in every situation that we're in. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, in the dream that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dream that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Oh, I see trees of green, red roses too, and I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, I see clouds of white, the brightness of day. I lights the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are always on the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They're always saying, I love you. watch them grow, they'll know much more than we will know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, yeah. Where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top, that's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. In the dream that you dreamed of, oh, once in a lullaby. Oh, da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Thank you. Oh, I was thinking when you were, and just recognizing just how sweet and beautiful those moments are, like those moments in a song that we, most of us, know, and it brings such a warm feeling to the heart. And so, oh, I love it. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Helen. Yes, thank you.
So, our theme, action in mind. It's funny because yesterday was, we did more teacher training for Welcome Home facilitators to facilitate different classes. And the focus was on the body. And of course, our mind directs our body. Our mind is the one that's sending our body's messages all the time. So we did all these exercises, like imagining holding weights and doing these arm presses and things with different amounts of weights. And even though we weren't holding weights, we told our mind and our body we were. And it's like, oh, this morning I'm a little sore. I was holding 20-pound weights, and I feel it today. But it's so incredible how powerful the mind is, that when we imagine, when we create that idea in our mind, we can have that physical experience, which was why I wanted to do Aging with Power this morning as well, because again, there's so many ideas and beliefs around aging that we just do not have to buy into. Because the moment we do, we direct our body, and then our body is, well, there it is, an aging body, and, dis-ease within the body, because there's dis-ease within the mind. So imagine if we desired so deeply to turn our soul, our mind, our body, our spirit with passion and unwavering commitment towards the light, towards that energy of vitality and infinite love. Like, wouldn't we be creating differently? And so many of us are stumbling around, trying to live through a year of quarantine, a year of unprecedented, explosive division and divisiveness and racism. and a year also where there's a lot of environmental devastation. And so, how do we live in the present? How do we tap into this knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly? Life is always unfolding perfectly. And what does it mean for us moving forward? How do we live consciously in the present, in love versus fear? Well, Friday was Rosh Hashanah, and that's a holy day. It's a Jewish holy day. It's the beginning of a Jewish New Year. And it's a day of joy and celebration. And interestingly enough, it was also the day that Ruth Bader Ginsburg left us on this earth plane, and she took flight into whatever is next for her. And this extraordinary woman, for me, was an example of a woman who was ready to, always willing to turn towards the light, fully and completely in body, in mind, with determination and passion and purpose to take a stand for justice. And do you know what it means to die on the holy day of Rosh Hashanah? In the Jewish mystical tradition, it means the person is a tzaddik, a person of great righteousness. And the amazing thing about this honor, tzaddik, is that it comes from the Jewish root tazdik, which means justice. So it's kind of the closest thing to sainthood in the mystical Jewish tradition. And tzaddik becomes a conduit, a channel through whom grace flows. So, bless you, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You are the path of grace from which to flow. And we must recognize also that there is a path of grace for every one of us if we dare to enter into the light, if we dare to just turn ourselves fully and completely with passion, with purpose, with conviction, using our free will choice to do so. And so this also brings me to Plato's allegory that was written in 300 BC. And many of you will know it, maybe some of you don't, but it represents the consciousness even that we're living in now. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the allegory, there are men chained in a cave facing the back of the cave. And so their backs are to the opening. They can't turn their heads. There is a fire burning behind them at the entrance of the cave. And you have to give me license to add my own spin to this. But who are these people? Who are these people that are chained in the cave that can only see the shadows that pass by the cave? And try to make sense of what those shadows are. Well, they are us. They are us. The men in the cave see the images of all sorts of people walking past the cave, carrying certain items, and they give names to what they see. They try to make sense of them. They're rendering their world intelligible to them. And we all have this natural desire to make sense of the world around us. I mean, we're all trying to make sense of what's happening in the world right now. And then what happens in the allegory is one prisoner is released. I don't say why this guy gets chosen, but anyways, he is released and he is dragged out past the fire into the entrance of the cave. He is liberated. He is compelled to stand up and look forward, and he's actually dragged out but he's dragged out towards the light. And it's so painful to look into the light. The glare is distressing. And people are saying to him, what you were seeing in the cave, those shadows, that is an illusion. But what he's seeing out in the light may also be an illusion. And how many of us are seeing an illusion and we try to name the illusion and we make up these stories in our mind to try and make sense of what we're seeing? And what happens next to the man is that his eyes are turned towards actually a more real existence, and he begins to have a clearer vision of reality. And it's not the things that he sees when he's out in the light, but he turns towards the light to have that clearer vision. And so even though the people try to tell him that what he was seeing in the cave, those shadows, is not as real as what he's seeing outside of the cave, it's only when he turns fully and completely to the light with conviction, and that the light becomes his first principle. And so my question to you today, and there's more that goes on in the allegory, by the way, but I think you're kind of getting the gist that we're looking at all these shadows. We're thinking that that's reality. We come out, we think we're in the light, and we think that's reality. But really, it's only when we turn to the actual light, the light that is within us, the light that is spiritual principle, that we really know what reality is. And so, are you activated in mind? Are you activated? Are you willing to serve yourself and this physical world from the principle that there is an infinite, creative, intelligent power in the universe? It is love only. And then how do you know when you're in that principle? How do you know? How do you really, really know? Well, I love this quote by D.H. Lawrence. The mind can assert anything and pretend it has proved it. My beliefs I test on my body, on my intuitional consciousness. And when I get a response there, then I accept. So are you tuning into your intuitional consciousness and your body and getting a response? Because if our body is in contraction, it's tight, that is not response. We are living in reaction in our mind. It is when our body is open and we can feel that energy flowing through it, and we can feel our length, our width, our depth, our expansion, and this intuitive knowing bubbles up from within. That's when we're living in reality. Each time we go through a difficult time, can you be more loving, compassionate, kinder and thoughtful and softer with yourself and others? That is being open in body and mind. For these are spiritual qualities that will align you with your God consciousness rather than living in a dual fear-based consciousness. Can you turn your body, mind, and soul towards the light with conviction, no matter what? Because we all have these things that we are dealing with individually and collectively. And our world, Our word, well, our word, what we speak, definitely is a reflection of what's going on in our minds. I guess that was supposed to come out. But our world also requires us to turn towards the light at this time. No matter how painful it may feel at the beginning, it's worth the effort. We need to move out of being shackled in this cave and trying to make sense of the shadows. The cave represents the relative world. The cave represents ignorance, conventional opinion, the sensible way to live life that keeps us passive and observers of life. It's when we step out into the light, we begin to embrace a new world of ideas, from a place where Einstein said we move into a place in our minds where intellect and spirit meet. And this is where there's this explosion of reality, and there are no longer any shadows. And the power and the capacity of learning and being exists in our soul already. It's already there for us. It's only when we choose not to turn from the darkness to the light that we remain shackled. So use your whole body, your mind, your soul, your knowledge. Know that it can be turned from the world of becoming into that place of being the light, being the love, exuding it from every cell, every pore, every fiber of your life, of your beingness, of your body. Being love, life, light, grace, and justice. It's not enough just to know it in our heads anymore. We are being called to embody who we are. Emotionally, physically, intellectually, and spiritually. We are being called to change the world. So that is why I have decided that on Thursday nights from 8 to 8:45, I am going to lead a global meditation for love, for joy, for peace, for transformation, for abundance, for grace, for healing. And that's going to be every Thursday night at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. No, not 8 a.m. That's the other program. Whoops. 8 p.m. to 8:45. So it'll be after Carrie's meditation. And it'll be on Zoom, and we'll broadcast it also out on YouTube. But it's like, let's come together. Let's come together as a community. Let's come together in mind with our consciousness and create this coherent field of energy that it supports everyone, that is for everyone. No matter who they are, no matter what the color of their skin is, no matter how much money they make. It's like, let's be this inclusive body coming together to just let this beautiful energy that we are out into the world. And I really do have to give Judy Southern credit, because she was the one who came up with the idea. It wasn't mine. I'm just taking action on it. I said, that is a great idea. That is a great idea in mind. I will take action on it, and it will be reflected in our world and in our life. So thank you, Judy, for that. I think we have a divine opportunity here as we move through all of this together to just really open ourselves up to so much more faith and grace. And even though we've lost some great minds over the last little while, and you know, people are still continuing to transition. We must remember that, you know, life is eternal and that everything is unfolding perfectly. We just don't know the end result. But if we can place our faith in that, then we can still maintain that energy of love no matter what is going on. So, what I know and I recognize right here, right now, is that each and every person is a divine idea in that eternal mind that knows exactly what to do, that is that infinite creative intelligence of healing energy, knowing that healing means the revealing of love, and that each one of us, as an individualized expression of this one mind, we get to choose. We get to choose that healing. We get to choose that expression. It's so individual and unique, yet so important, because it's a powerful contribution to the elevation of consciousness of oneness for each and every one of us on this earth plane. And so I give thanks to each and every one of you for being a part of this celebration of love today. I give thanks for the recognition that there is only this one life. It is a universal presence of grace and love and infinite wisdom, and it resides within my soul and each and every person's soul. And so thank you for that understanding. And I know that as my word is spoken here this morning, there is a vibration that goes out into the law, and therefore that action that is taken in mind is reflected in my life. It is reflected in your life. So love, peace, and blessings. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. And so now what I am going to do is share my screen. Maybe. Haha, there we go. Come on. And I am going to bring up our affirmation. And I invite you all to say this affirmation with me. It is a divine giving affirmation. And here's what I want to say. Yes, this is about, you know, your tithe to the center, but this is also about giving out all that love, the wisdom, the grace that you are. So divine love flows through me. It blesses and multiplies all that I have, all I give, and all I receive. I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater flow of abundance. And so it is. And if you would like to send in your tithe, you could go to welcomeomtoronto.com. You can also set up a recurring tithe through the website, or you can send an e-transfer to admin@welcomeomtoronto.com. And so I am going to go to the next announcements. So classes are at 7:30 a.m. And 7 p.m. on Thursday. Every class that I teach till the end of September, I will be recording and putting up on our YouTube channel. So you can always go and experience a meditation class at any time. And so know that that is available to you. Yes, our global meditation, consciously connecting all of humanity and spreading love, joy, and healing energy throughout the planet, Thursday evening. The Zoom link is up on our website. And you can also go to the YouTube station. If you've subscribed to the YouTube station, you will get notification that we are live on YouTube, and that is from 8 to 8:45 p.m. And our Conscious Cafe with Pastor June Joplin. She is the trans Christian minister that has been released from her pulpit when she came out as a trans minister. And so we are going to have a conscious conversation on Tuesday, September 29th at 7 p.m. And that's on Zoom or on Facebook Live. So you can join us for that. And then hit the new You button, the visioning program. A lot of really new, interesting people showing up and purchasing this. Here's what's going to happen. At 8 a.m., I will be on Zoom. We will do visioning together for 15 minutes, visioning yourself as love, visioning yourself as joy, visioning yourself as expressing your creative purpose, visioning compassion, forgiveness, health, well-being, and so many more for 30 days. Now, if you can't make it at 8 a.m., the recording, if you have signed up, the recording will be sent to you along with the affirmation of the day and you setting an intention for yourself. So that's just for 15 minutes for 30 days. Again, taking that action in mind so that that is reflected in your experience. And what a great thing to do. Visioning is such a potent spiritual practice. So I invite you to join me for that. And then I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Phil. I want to say thank you to Judy. And I want to say thank you to all of you. I am so grateful for your presence and who you are and just how you show up in the world. It's fantastic. So with that, I am going to invite Phil to close us out with his closing song, and it's an original song of Phil's. I asked him to do one of his originals that I love, that really does represent the oneness of all of us. So take it away, Phil.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Helen. Your words this morning, powerful and resonating and very impactful. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that and tying in with this song of just connectedness. But in that place, it starts off like questioning, and then we turn to a source, turn to nature, turn to the trees to get some insight and some visioning from them to help us. So I am all of the things that come to me in my dreams, from the hell to the great big sky. I stand all of the time and I wonder all of the time the biggest questions of why. Am I here all on my own, or am I a part of the zone, twilight time? Where is my home? So I ask the trees all of the time, what is really on mine? Will I end up fine, all on my own? Just be the trees, I'll say we are. Just be okay with what we are. We are all the same. Connecting beneath the ground, just look at what we found, and all we need is what is around. My life is your life now. is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now. Da 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 da. Oh, yeah. Oh, da 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 da. Oh, I just be the trees all say we are being okay with who we are. We are all the same. Connecting beneath the ground, just look at what we found, and all we need is one is around. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now. My life is your life now, and my breath is your breath now, and my heart is your heart now.
Oh, that is truly one of my favorite songs, Phil. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Sunday. See you Thursday for the meditation, and see you in class. Just much love and peace and blessings to you all. Bye for now.